Good evening. Welcome.
Mama said, don't give up. It's a little complicated. All tied up, no more love. And I'd hate to see you waiting. Had to have high hopes for a living. Shooting for the stars, but I couldn't make a killing. Didn't have a time, but I always had a vision. Always had high hopes. Had to have high hopes for a living. Didn't know how, but I always had a feeling. I was gonna be that one in a million. Always had high hopes. Mama said, something for oddities, stranger cruises. Ain't ever wannabes, waiting the novelties that don't ever change. We wanted everything, wanted everything. Stay up on that rise, stay up on that rise, never come down. Oh, stay up on that rise, stay up on that rise, never come down. Mama said, don't give up. It's a little complicated, all tied up, no more love, and I'd hate to see you waiting. They say it's all been done, but they haven't seen the best of me. So I got one more run, and it's gonna be a sight to see. Had to have high hopes for
Good evening. Welcome. Thank you for joining us for our first virtual community conversation of the new school year. We started these virtual events as a way to stay connected until we can once again gather safely. We were hopeful we would be able to enjoy more post-pandemic practices this school year, such as inviting you into our schools to host our conversations in person. However, with health and safety as our top priorities, we decided it is in the best interest of our community to continue with the virtual platform. Our virtual conversations have been some of the most well-attended community events in our recent history. Thank you for joining us tonight. And a few notes before we begin. This meeting is available in both English and Spanish. If you would like to hear this conversation in Spanish, please select language preference in the toolbar and then select Spanish. The meeting is being recorded and will be available on our website at www.mapleton.us.
Esta reunión está disponible en inglés y español. Si desea escuchar esta conversación en español, seleccione Language Preference en la barra de herramientas y luego seleccione español. La reunión se está grabado y estará disponible en nuestro sitio web www.mapleton.us.
My name is Cindy Crescent. I was elected to the Board of Education in 2015, and I have the honor to serve as president. I've been a member of this community all of my life. I grew up just down the street from the Global campus. I attended what was Western Hills, now Adventure, John Dewey, which is now the Global campus. It's so beautiful. And the historic Mapleton site, which is no longer there, but has served us well over the years and has provided much needed support for us to do other projects within the school when that area or that building and that land was sold. I have a daughter and a grandson who both have attended the schools here in Mapleton. I became very passionate about the school board when we were looking to change the way we did education in Mapleton. And the Small by Design was really caught my eye and caught my heart. And that's what brought me to the board many, many years ago. And also the recent ability to do more capital projects was very interesting to me and brought me back to the board for a second time. So I've enjoyed it, and I get much more reward, I believe, than I put into the work. This evening, we would like to discuss our continued response to the pandemic, share an update on our Board of Education elections, and provide details about our important district initiatives, including our More Than a Meal campaign and enrollment. Next, we'll discuss the annual Mapleton Education Foundation Gala, which is going hybrid. That means there are several options to attend and celebrate the work of Mapleton Education Foundation. We'll wrap up the conversation with a look at construction in Mapleton. As you probably know, we celebrated the grand reopening of Monterey Community School, are preparing for the grand opening of our Mapleton Arts Center, and are getting ready to open Valley View next fall. We'll also introduce you to the projects we are calling the Final Four.
Thank you, Cindy. My name is Tom Moe, and I'm pleased to serve as Vice President of the Board of Education. I was elected to the board in November of 2017, and I'm honored to serve this community. I got involved in the Mapleton School District in about 2015 when we started talking about improving our facilities, since a lot of them are outdated, were outdated. And thanks to our community members, we passed the construction bond in 2016. And I've been very excited to be a part of all of our new facilities that we've been building for our students and staff. And I'm looking forward to the next 4 years to make Mapleton even better for everyone. This evening, it's also our pleasure to introduce our two newest board members, Terry Donnell and Mallory Boyce. Ms. Donnell represents District A, and Ms. Boyce represents District C. Our current slate of board members will be elected by acclamation during the board meeting on Tuesday, November 16th. Ms. Donnell cannot be here with us this evening. Ms. Boyce is able to join us, and I would like to welcome her to our community conversation and to the board in November. Ms. Boyce?
Hi, everybody. Looking forward to joining the team.
We're glad to have you. Thank you. We'll share an update regarding November's board election in just a moment. We're also joined by Charlotte Choncho, Superintendent of Mapleton Public Schools. Community conversations are a place for celebrating our community and encouraging the exchange of ideas and information from all district stakeholders. Thank you for helping to keep this a forum for healthy, helpful, and hopeful conversations. We invited our community to submit questions prior to tonight's conversation. To ensure we can get to your questions, we will not answer the questions submitted this evening as we are sharing. However, if you have a question about something you hear tonight or something you're curious about, please submit your question in the Q&A feature, and the answers will be posted soon on the Mapleton Connects webpage. As a board, we believe that our community engagement efforts are the best way to learn from, listen to, and involve you, our community, in the mission and our work. Our community conversations are part of a bigger initiative we are calling Mapleton Connects. Mapleton Connects is about staying connected, building our network to support each other along the way, and strengthening our community by celebrating the contributions we all make to ensure strong schools and a strong community. And now I'd like to introduce Superintendent Choncho.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. It is amazing to think that we have already been back in school for a full month. We continue to be successful in assuring the health, safety, and well-being of our students, staff, and our community. As we move into our first topic this evening, our continued response to COVID-19, I'd like to take a brief moment to share the data from Tri-County Health. Almost 70% of the state of Colorado is fully immunized. In Adams County, 68.6% of those 18 and older are fully immunized, and 66.8% of those 12 and older are fully immunized. Within our district boundaries, the 2-week positivity rate has been on a downward trend since August. If you compare data from where we were a year ago today, you will notice that we are seeing a similar, but not a significant spike in cases. What we're trying to avoid is the spike we saw last November and December. This next slide shows weekly COVID-19 test positivity by age group. You can see some significant spikes across all age groups in August, and a steep decline in test positivity as we head into September. That graph matches the rate of illness we saw when school first started, a quick peak and a long, steep decline. We're seeing new breakthrough cases in our community right now. A breakthrough case is when a person tests positive for COVID-19 at least 2 weeks after becoming fully vaccinated. This slide shows that since March of 2021, 11% of the cases in Adams County have been breakthrough cases. And this month so far, roughly 36% of the cases in Adams County have been breakthrough cases. It's important to keep in mind that no vaccine is 100% effective. And an important goal of the vaccination is to prevent serious illness. Also, the breakthrough cases remain relatively low. In our district, we have not had any outbreaks. Now, an outbreak is when 5 or more linked individuals in a class or in a group like band or choir or one of the sports test positive with COVID. Should that happen, per CDPHE and CDC guidelines, the class or that group experiencing the outbreak would roll to remote for up to 10 days. Because we know that this new Delta variant is much more transmissible than previous variants of this virus, out of an abundance of caution, and to hopefully keep us one step ahead of COVID, we are reinstating some of what allowed us to be so successful last year. Keeping our classrooms open while avoiding that darn rolling to remote is a priority for our schools. To that end, I'd like to share a quick update about homecoming. We were so hopeful that we would be able to bring back our traditions this year, but the data just doesn't support that. This year, homecoming, which is Friday, October 8th, will be a full day of school. We will not have a community parade, and we will not host the tailgating and festivities at the Skyview campus prior to the game as we have in the past. We will host the football game at the Tetero Stadium on Friday. Kickoff is at 7 p.m. We invite you to cheer on the Skyview Wolverines as they take on the Frederick High School Warriors. District students and staff get free admission to the game. We will host an outdoor homecoming dance on Saturday, October 8th, with the theme of Under the Sea, and our high school students will be under the stars on the soccer field at the Broadway campus. The event is from 6 to 8 p.m. and is for Mapleton High School students only. We know we all miss our homecoming celebration, but we are thankful that we're able to bring back at least one special event for our high school students this homecoming season. From in-school testing to vaccination clinics to regular communication with our public health experts, we are continuing important partnerships to maintain our enhanced response to this pandemic. We were one of the first districts to sign up for the CDPHE in-school COVID screening program. Student screening helps us get a better sense of how COVID is circulating in our community and assists us in diagnosing asymptomatic individuals to decrease the spread of COVID in our schools and across our community. CDPHE is providing all kindergarten through 12th grade students in Colorado with free and voluntary COVID-19 screening. The weekly rapid antigen testing will be available to all students and all staff, regardless of vaccination status or presence of symptoms. The tests will be provided by Mobile Health. An exciting perk to this program is that CDPHE is offering monetary incentives to the students participating in on-site screenings. Each participating student will receive $25 for the first COVID-19 test that is administered through this program. Students will then receive $10 for every subsequent test administered each week. So they can only do it once a week, but it's a minimum of one incentive per week. Participating students will receive their incentives monthly and retroactively via a gift card. For example, if your student is tested in September, they will receive their gift card loaded with their total incentives for September and early October. The gift cards will be recharged every month, and your child's gift card will be mailed to the address listed on your child's consent form. This is work directly with CDPHE and not through Mapleton Public Schools. If you are interested in having your child participate in the weekly in-school screening, please reach out to your school director to sign your digital consent form. Mask mandates. Thank you for following Tri-County's public health order requiring masks in school settings. We appreciate your patience as we too are navigating this evolving health order. Our students do an amazing job wearing their masks, and thank you for your help. At this time, we are asking families to please send children to school with their own mask. Although we are currently able to provide some disposable masks, they really don't fit kids very well and are necessary, and they're necessary, and our supply is dwindling. So please send your students to school with their own masks. Thank you for helping us to reduce both the cost and the waste by sending them to school with their own cloth mask. With the reintroduction of masks and the tightening up of back to the previous guidance, we will also reintroduce the Mapleton COVID dashboard beginning next week. We're confident that our data will be more accurate as we reintroduce testing on site. Thank you for helping us by calling your school office should one of your children test positive for COVID outside of our school-based testing.
Thank you, Charlotte. We strongly encourage the COVID vaccines for all eligible employees and students. As a reminder, anyone aged 12 years and older can get vaccinated. All COVID-19 vaccines are free. Insurance or identification are not needed. You can walk in or make an appointment at most places. Nine Health is hosting a series of vaccination clinics at the Skyview campus. You can reserve your vaccine on our website, or walk-ins are welcome. So far, 867 people have vaccinated at a Mapleton clinic. 68% of those people being school-aged or under the age of 17. The next clinic will be held on, Saturday, October 2nd from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Skyview campus. The next clinic will be held 3 weeks after that, right in time for your second dose if you get your first dose on October 2nd. The clinics offer first and second of the Pfizer vaccine and first and second doses of Moderna. The clinics are also offering flu shots if you would like to drop in. COVID taught us a lot of lessons last year, but one of the things we learned about how to stay safe and healthy in our schools was to avoid the 3 C's. That includes crowded places with many people, close contact settings, especially where people have close range conversations, and confined and enclosed spaces with poor ventilation. The risk is higher in places where these 3 C's overlap, such as school assemblies, school cafeterias, and other indoor gathering places. Our schools will begin re-implementing and revisiting strategies to help us keep the transmission rates down and our classrooms open. Changes are coming soon to our schools, may include regrouping students, adjusting schedules, or modifying our lunchtime routines. We know these are not the types of changes or constraints we wanted to be dealing with this year, but instead of thinking about constraints as well, constraining, we started the year with a conversation about the idea of creative constraints. Imagination and creativity paradoxically thrive within constraints. It's a common thought that the more options we have, the more innovative we become. However, having absolute creative freedom is often highly uncreative. It's a phenomenon called paralysis of choice. The more options we have, the harder it is to choose anything, which is why almost every artistic medium develops its own limitations over time. An anonymous writer for the Music Bed blog describes this perfectly. Poets work within rigidly defined poetic parameters. Painters work within the limited space of their canvas. Even screenwriters adhere to act structures defined ages ago. Art wants limits. I'll turn it over to Tom.
Thank you. A great example of creative constraints is the 6-word memoir. Imagine condensing an entire life into just 6 words. In 2006, Smith Magazine challenged its readers to write their own 6-word memoirs, resulting with a book titled Not Quite What I Was Planning. This collection of 6-word memoirs is by famous and not so famous writers, artists, and musicians. Their stories are sometimes sad, surprisingly intense, often funny, and always concise. Examples include, courage feels a lot like fear. Cupcakes are always the answer, always. A house filled with joyful noise. When you have only 6 words, there isn't room to be vague or verbose. If you have not practiced writing your own 6-word memoir, it's a fun exercise for the entire family. We can't always choose our constraints, but we can always choose how we respond to them. Our response to things that might otherwise deter us can actually free us and ultimately define us. This year, we know our staff, our families, and our community will continue to imagine the possibilities within the seemingly impossible constraints of this ongoing pandemic to make the school year meaningful, memorable, impactful, and enjoyable. We thank you for your flexibility and are looking forward to the creative thinking, teaching, and learning that will come from constraints. And supporting and informing our creative constraints is our Board of Education. Our board is made up of 5 volunteers who listen carefully to the needs of our community and assure we are responding accordingly. This year, there were no more candidates than offices to be filled at the election, so the election was canceled. The following candidates will be elected by acclamation at the Tuesday, November 16th board business meeting. Terry Donnell from District A for a 4-year term. Daisy Leachman, District B, to fulfill the remaining 2 years in the term for District B. Mallory Boyce, District C for a 4-year term. And Thomas Moe, District E for a 4-year term. Representing District D is Cindy Croissant, who is beginning the last 2 years of her current term. This is the 15th non-consecutive year that Cindy will be serving on the board. Steve Donnell and Sheila Montoya have been serving our district for the past 8 years. Unfortunately, they're term limited and will turn over their seats in November. We look forward to welcoming our new board members in November and are excited to introduce them to you.
This year, all students continue to receive free breakfast and lunch at school as a result of the USDA school lunch program. However, it's still important for all families to complete the meal benefit application, and here's why. Whether you qualify or not, submitting your meal benefit application helps your child's school access thousands of dollars in additional funds for materials and activities. If you do qualify, your family will also be eligible to receive other benefits, including discounted and low-cost internet, phone costs, and more. The meal benefit application can be filled out online in about 10 minutes. The form is completely confidential and is only used by the district. The meal benefit application is available online. We are pleased to share that we are halfway there. Nearly 51% of our families have submitted their meal benefit application. We hope to be close to 100% by the end of the month. Go team! We are excited to see so many students in our classrooms, in person and online. Our enrollment is strong with nearly 6,900 students attending Mapleton's brick and mortar schools and Mapleton Online. We continue to welcome families, but our open seats are going fast. We are happy to see some of our largest growth in students at our preschool level. We expanded our preschool program to be able to meet the needs of the community. Part of the expansion includes free half-day preschool for all 4-year-olds. We still have spaces available, so please enroll today and tell your neighbors. There will also be limited spots available for very affordable tuition-based full-day preschool.
One of the many things that makes Mapleton special for our students is our Mapleton Education Foundation. Since its founding in 1992, the foundation has played a key role in the success of Mapleton's small by design schools of choice. Each year, the foundation supports more than 200 students in achieving their post-secondary dreams. The foundation also supports teachers in bringing exciting learning experiences into the classroom through mini grants and supports unique student opportunities through the Make a Difference Fund. The foundation's largest fundraiser is their annual gala. You're invited to support the work of the Mapleton Education Foundation based on your comfort level. Our unique hybrid gala this year offers 3 ways for you to help make dreams come true in Mapleton. In person at the West in Westminster, at home with a watch party dinner basket, or you can enjoy the program and participate in our silent auction virtually. This year, the gala will support opportunities that inspire imagination, encourage play and learning, and help develop a love of creativity and innovation in all students. Funds raised from the gala will make it possible for every kindergarten through 6th student in Mapleton to have access to an imagination playground. What's an imagination playground, you ask? We'll take a look.
You know, imagination and creative play really allows children to see sort of greater than themselves, allows them to think of possible.
It's the great one!
Sorry about that. We hope to have a longer imagination playground video for you momentarily. That was just a tease on what they can do.
I thought maybe we were just gonna have everybody imagine what the playground looked like.
Yeah.
Thank you to our tech support folks.
It's the great one!
So this year at Monterey, we introduced the Imagination Playground, and what it is a set of open-ended building materials similar to the blocks we use in kindergarten, but at a larger life-size scale. And what it does is it allows the students to be creative and build structures and experiment and learn how to work together to build just anything they want, really. There's whatever their imagination wants to do.
Something surprising that I saw with the student projects is experimenting with kind of the physics of the balls and the structures, and really being able to use kind of kinesthetics and use their bodies in learning. That's been surprising and really fun to watch.
Come on.
So in the first few weeks of using the Imagination Playground, I've seen students really get a chance to take risks and try new things while working together. You know, imagination and creative play really allows children to see sort of greater than themselves, allows them to think of possibilities and, you know, what is out there and what are options, and that'll really carry them through middle school and high school when they have to really start thinking about, you know, beyond themselves and what could they do and what's possible for their lives. And really it starts with them having the chance to, you know, have freedom and play and build things as they see in their brain and have it come to fruition in reality.
I think that using Imagination Playground will help our students in the future because it provides them opportunities to play and create on their own. They're not always given a set of rules or instructions from adults, right? And it gives them time to think for themselves and to create for themselves.
Oh, I love it. Lila's starting to assemble things.
And that's what we hope for them when they're adults, that when they leave school, that they're ready to choose their own path and problem solve for themselves.
When I look at my students, I really hope in the future that they are creative, critical thinkers that are able to address any problems they're going to face in the world. We don't know what the world's going to be like 20 years from now, and the Imagination Playground lets them think about what the possibilities are for their future. You know, maybe they'll invent something we've never seen before, and they're starting out by doing that by building something with Imagination Playground that we've never seen or we wouldn't think of. So just having them have the opportunity to have endless possibilities, which will carry forward to their future when they're thinking about what's the world like in 20 years and how can I change the world.
So fun to see our kids using the imagination interactive play. One of the many great additions to the vastly improved Monterey Community School is the Imagination Playground. This interactive play space will allow these kids to build new worlds every day. We are very excited to bring these innovative and imaginative playgrounds to the entire district. On Tuesday, August 10th, the Monterey community was welcomed back to the school with a ribbon cutting ceremony. After a full year of designing, digging, and building, Monterey now has a new gym, an art room, a safer bus loop, and a drop-off area. Renovated and expanded classrooms and hallways, and an inclusive playground. Monterey's much-needed renovations were made possible by generous community support and a grant from the Building Excellent Schools Today program. Monterey is a Spanish word which means the King's Mountain. So mountains, and especially Colorado's 14ers, served as the inspiration for Monterey's interior design. The renovated building will feature images of mountains as well as lots of blues, purples, and greens. Although we cannot currently welcome the community into Monterey just yet, we would like to take a moment to share a virtual tour. Wow, what a beautiful school. And the Earth Movers are not done yet. A grant from Adams County Open Space is helping to transform the area behind Monterey into Rainbow Park. The park will include tennis courts, a walking path with an exercise circuit, as well as new playfield. We are excited to welcome you to Rainbow Park later this year.
Tom, you're muted.
I think that was one of those 6-word memoirs. You're on mute. You're on mute.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. Mapleton Arts Center, or the MAC, is located on Broadway, of course. This state-of-the-art facility houses band, orchestra, choir, dance, and drama. It also has dedicated spaces for storing props, costumes, uniforms, instruments, and displaying trophies. There's a ticket booth, a gallery, a black box theater, an amphitheater, and a 900-seat auditorium. The MAC completes the construction on the Broadway campus, previously home to the John Dewey Vikings. This site is rich in our Mapleton history. In an effort to honor those who founded our district, as well as those who have continued to enhance the opportunities of our students, the Board of Education will work with local artists to create and install the first in a series of bronze sculptures. We proudly acknowledge the words and sentiment of Sir Isaac Newton, knowing that, quote, "If I or we have seen further, it is by standing upon the shoulders of giants," unquote. As a board, we are very proud of what we've been able to contribute. At the same time, we know that we would have been unable to make that contribution if it were not for those who have preceded us. To fund this initial installation, the Mapleton Education Foundation will be working with us to allow individuals the opportunity to sponsor one of the 900 seats in the MAC. Stay tuned for more information about how you can leave your mark on the MAC. It was our intent to host a very grand opening for this incredible building in October. However, as we grapple with the current COVID numbers, we are postponing this event until things settle down. Valley View is progressing quickly. Crews are already installing windows and laying brick, giving shape to the new classrooms. The new Valley View will be a pre-K-8 project-based learning school. Students will learn by actively engaging in real-world and personally meaningful projects. Instructional spaces will not be assigned to individual teachers, but rather to individual purposes. For example, there are several immersion studios where students can work in spaces dedicated to culinary arts, music, robotics, science, art, and technology. There are also open labs between classrooms and a forum where completed projects can be displayed. We think the new one-story school building with both sloping and flat roofs will be a great addition to this neighborhood. Enrollment begins in January, and the school will open next August.
To date, nearly 90% of our 2016 bond program is now complete. In combination with the bond program from 2010, most of our school buildings have either been renovated or rebuilt. When we started on our capital construction master plan in 2006, nearly every facility was over 50 years old and had significant infrastructure problems. They had all pretty much exceeded their useful life. Now we're in a very different place. As we wrap up the many projects made possible by stitching together 2 bond elections, multiple grants through the Building Excellent Schools Today program, and several smaller grants, we've seen an impressive return on our community's investment. As we begin planning for 2022, we are ready to look at what we're calling the Final Four. These 4 buildings have served us well, but they are showing signs of their age. It's time to consider options when it comes to making these buildings safer and more functional for generations to come. Our Final Four include Achieve Academy, which is formerly Bertha Hyde Elementary School, where I think I went to kindergarten, Meadow Community School, Preschool on Pose, which originally was Clayton Intermediate School, and York International School. We look forward to working with the families in and the communities surrounding our Final Four schools. Please stay tuned for more information regarding upcoming meetings and community conversations. Now we'd like to move into the space where we're answering your pre-submitted questions. So the first one that we see is, will you be bringing back the COVID dashboard? And the answer is yes. As we mentioned earlier this evening, as we gather more dependable data, we can assure that the dashboard is more accurate and more meaningful. Up to this point, we didn't have a lot of, I guess, dependable data to be able to put up a dashboard. Now with the tests here, the screenings here on our site, we think we'll be able to manage that appropriately. Second question is, when will parents be allowed back in school buildings? And honestly, we are very eager to get our parents and our community back inside the buildings and in our schools. As soon as these COVID numbers within our communities level out and we can predict that people will be safe, then we'll be able to reopen the buildings. So please do stay tuned. Don't lose hope. I think we're going to be able to do that this year. The next question is, are vaccinations required for Mapleton staff? Now, the answer to that is no, but so we are not requiring all of Mapleton staff to be vaccinated. However, they have the choice to either be vaccinated or to test each week in our system. So we already are following the Tri-County Health mask orders. So everyone in school buildings are masks. Anyone that are interacting with our children are already wearing masks. For those who are vaccinated, we are asking them to submit their proof of vaccination to our Human Resources Department. And for those who are not yet vaccinated, we are asking them to test weekly and to upload those test results each week so that we can make sure we're monitoring the safety in our schools. The third question, or this next question, maybe I'm on 4. How will students receive gift cards from CDPHE if they participate in testing? I think we may have answered that question earlier, but it is that CDPHE will mail the gift cards to the address listed on the student's consent form directly. So CDPHE will be handling that entire gift card process. That's not something that Mapleton Public Schools will be managing, but working through CDPHE, will work directly with your children. Will masks be required for spectators at the homecoming game? And the answer is no. We are not requiring that anyone who we're doing anything outdoors to be wearing masks at the game. So any outdoor activity, we are not requiring masking. The next one is asking about enrollment. And are we enrolling out of district students? We absolutely are. Our count date, the count window for public education funding is typically from 5 days prior to October 1 and 5 days after October 1. Typically following that window, we don't allow enrollment of out of district, but this year we're going to give it a try, see what kind of movement we have. So we will be allowing that out of district enrollment even after that October 1 count window, and just to see if that's going to work for us or not. So as of right now, the answer to that is yes. Do we have preschool spots available? And that answer is absolutely we do. Now, it's a little bit tricky on that one as well. The free 4-year-old program, that half-day program for 4-year-olds that is free, is only free to children living in the Mapleton boundary. We are accepting enrollment for children 4 years old out of the district, but then that becomes more of a tuition-based option for families living outside of Mapleton's boundaries. So yes, we do have spots, and we will open additional classrooms should the need be there. Finally, let's see, will we be doing a Mapleton Reads again this year? So yes, each year the Board of Education sponsors what we call Mapleton Reads, which is the opportunity for us to read a text or book together. This year we've selected 3 books actually that will depend on what age your child or children are in your home. So this first one, I'm really glad somebody asked this question because I love all 3 of these books. This first one, I'm gonna see if I can hold it up, is called Maybe. And this is a lovely book written by Kobe Yamada. And it's a story about the endless potential in all of us. So it's a lovely picture book for the younger children. The next book we're reading is called The Remarkable Journey of Coyote Sunrise. And I just finished this book as well. And it's a sweet story about a young girl and her dad who are traveling across the country after the loss of her mother and two sisters. So it's kind of this lovely journey and the things that they learn together as they're driving a school bus across the country. And finally, for the older kids, for the 8th grade and up, it's this book called Unbroken by Laura Hildebrand. They've just written, I think there's now a movie about Unbroken. This is an Olympian's journey from airman to castaway to captive. And so it's a very intense story. It's I just finished reading that one as well. It's a very interesting, it's accurate. It's a story that really talks about this young man. So hopefully you will want to pick up one or more of our Community Reads books and join us in reading together. So I think that's the end of our meeting for this evening. We thank you again for joining us for our first community conversation of this school year. Please stay safe, stay healthy, and have a great night. Thank you all for being here.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye, everyone.